vision. One time, somebody asked the curé Vase, "Comment l'avez-vous su? How did you know it?" "Ah, je l'ai su. I knew it." He didn't explain how, but it would hint at the fact that he seemed to have this infused knowledge and saw things not only in the present but also in the past and occasionally in the future. This was a great help, notably in orientating lives and destinies. One time, a young man came to him, and this young man just wanted confirmation of his vocation. He had intended to enter a seminary. The curé Vase did not answer immediately. He closed his eyes and seemed to be looking into the distance in his thought. And he said, "Mariez-vous." Get married. The person at the other end was astounded, and he wanted to be sure that he was hearing correctly. Would he write it down? And he wrote it down, "Mariez-vous." He did. And from that marriage came at least 10 priests, 1 or 2 of which actually became also bishops. Another time, a person came quite by chance to the area. He had a gun. He was hunting, but he saw a great concourse of people in this little village and all heading for the parish church. Out of pure curiosity, he joined the group just to see what was going on. He got eventually to the centre of attention, the curé Vase himself, who said to him, "Vous irez à la trappe." You will go to la trappe. And so it was. Another time, a young lassie went to see him, beautiful and wanting to marry. He said to her, "Vous serez religieuse. You will be a nun." "No, no, 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 no." See. And she did. Another time, a lady came to him with an inspiration to get underway a sisterhood that would be purely for the help of the souls in purgatory. And he calmly said it was a great inspiration, a great work, that of helping the holy souls in purgatory. And he immediately gave it the seal of his blessing. It became a congregation. People heard of this wonderful priest's ability to give good advice and to also read consciences. But he also had an effect on the parish itself and on all who came to hear his catechetical teaching. On a daily basis, he would go into the pulpit and give those great moments of teaching which are useful to all and sundry. One time, he was teaching on the importance of keeping the Sunday holy, and he was going into some detail. And at that moment, 2 ladies left, and he talked to them from the pulpit, knowing where they were going and what they were about to do, and said quite clearly, in the context of what he was saying, that they had not had the right motive in going out of church to go on a long journey on what was going to be the day of the Lord. And they reprogrammed to travel on another day. Another time he was distributing Holy Communion at the altar rails, and he passed over one person, and he gave to understand why. The person had come, fair play, to the church from a certain distance, but had been rushing and rushing and rushing all the way, and had not even had time to say her morning prayers. And the Holy Curé indicated that one could not receive the Lord without having prayed. On it would go. When celebrating, he would go into angelic mode, and he knew what he was doing, for he was truly in another world. Indeed, there is testimony that his altar boys noticed that he was not always touching the ground physically. A little bit of levitation now and again would happen. He would not be touching sometimes the ground. And he knew what the priesthood was, insisting that should an angel meet a priest, it would be for the angel to kneel. And he would tell his people simply, when they passed a church and they saw the belfry, that they could ask themselves, why is the belfry there? It's because the Lord is there in the tabernacle. And why is the Lord there in the tabernacle? Because a priest has consecrated him and put him there. And therefore, the priest is the link between heaven and earth. He knew the glory and the beauty of the sacred priesthood. When he got to Ars, it was a hopeless case. But he won the parish, all the souls in the parish, through prayer and fasting and personal care. What can take the place of prayer and fasting and personal care? Is it high skills on the computer? Is it great programming of pastoral skills, all up to date? Is it all that can be done? Or is it perhaps more of that intimacy which the Curéas found at the altar and which worked itself out in time for souls? What is a pastor? Someone who feeds, teaching. They don't want necessarily what they already know, that which is harmless, innocuous, but what they don't know. Otherwise, it's recycling of what is already there. What use is a pastor that gives what only is safe? A prophet is willing to face the consequences. The true pastor sanctifies, teaches, and governs. On the level of the parish, the Curéas changed even society. The dancing before the church stopped. Swearing stopped. Sunday became the Lord's Day. A parish priest, exposed for a long time to one stable flock, can have a profound influence if he's present to his flock. And if God is the one operating in him, nothing can take the place of visiting and knowing the flock. Years ago, an Anglican clergyman, I believe actually he was a bishop, was giving a retreat and had this to say to his own. The trouble with the Anglican Church is that it has foot and mouth disease. It can't visit and it can't preach. I'm not sure if that is true, because they can, but it was a good point and merits meditation. Nothing can take the place of the heart to heart, and for that to happen, a lot of other things have to go.